Shalom, call hello Allah Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people in the world heavenly call God, by Hashem, in the name of Yahweh Shah, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people in the world heavenly call Jesus Christ. Once again, the true name of the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom also to you, Akim, you brothers that's pushing and spreading his word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh by Hashem Shah. Also, Shalom to the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird man, when the child whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers, though you may look like the heathen nations, which as you see in this chart, the heathen nations of the nations start from 2 on down. Alright. Also, if your bloodline, your lineage goes back to these people, as you see on this chart, through the man, and if his spirit bear witness with his word, this truth, and you can receive it to the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, this does apply to you. You are Israelites, though you do look like the heathen, you're scattered amongst due to the scattering of these people on this chart. So you will have Israelites come looking like the other nations, but they're indeed Israelites because they're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the 15th verse on down. Their spirit bear witness with his word that they are the sons and daughters of Yahweh Shema Shah. Most importantly, their line, their lineage goes back to these people through the man. Alright, no matter what they come looking like, if their father's an Israelite, that makes them an Israelite as well. Also to you few aqua, confused like sisters that do listen, learn, believe, and have respect towards your husband, shalom to you as well. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you combine shalom to the elect of Israel, by the way, and to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you combine, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people, the Most High Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ once again, Yahweh Shah. Alright.
One of the greatest false accusations of the leftist media, repeated over and over for the past 4 years, is that Donald Trump is a racist. And he's not alone, because you're a racist. If you mispronounce Kamala Harris's name, if you don't agree with the radical agenda of Black Lives Matter, if you think police have a right to defend themselves against a thug with a weapon, basically, if you're not a radical leftist, you're a racist, says the media. What do you think they would call a white person who believes being born white endows you with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities? Super duper racist. And in that case, justifiably so. What if that person were nominated by Donald Trump to police the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice? What? That can never happen, you say, or if it did, you certainly would have heard about it in the media until that nomination was forced to be withdrawn, right? Heck, they'd even probably impeach Trump for ever nominating such a person. Again, justifiably so. So how come you haven't heard about this unless you watch Tucker Carlson on Fox News?
Melanin endows blacks with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities, something which cannot be measured based on Eurocentric standards. End quote.
What? You may be asking? Who was Tucker quoting? Did I hear right?
Let that sink in. Melanin endows black people with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities. No, that's not an editorial from The Final Call, Louis Farrakhan's free newspaper. That is a direct quote from the person Joe Biden is about to put in charge of this country's civil rights laws.
Her name is Kristen Clark, and as Tucker Carlson correctly reported, she would be in charge of enforcement of our civil rights laws. Clark made the racist wacko claims in a letter to the Harvard Crimson in 1994.
Black infants sit, crawl, and walk sooner than whites. 3. Carol Barnes notes that human mental processes are controlled by melanin, that same chemical which gives blacks their superior physical and mental abilities. 4. Some scientists have revealed that most whites are unable to produce melanin because their pineal glands are often calcified or non-functioning.
Got it? There is something in the brains of white people, a deficiency that prevents the development of melanin, which leads to white people being inferior.
Even at Harvard, crackpot theories like that were considered deranged and dangerous. After an outcry on campus, Kristen Clark suggested that she didn't necessarily believe what she had written. Now, the Harvard Crimson, a left-wing paper, did not buy that explanation. Well, does she or doesn't she, wrote the editors. So far, she has given us every indication that she does. And indeed, she did.
And there's more.
Just a month later, Kristen Clark invited the noted Trinidadian anti-Semite, Tony Martin, to speak on campus. Martin, then a professor at Wellesley College, was the author of a self-published manifesto called The Jewish Onslaught. In it, Martin chronicled the, quote, escalating Jewish onslaught against black people.
In his speech, Carlson reports, the professor ripped Jews and Judaism as a religion, a speech that Kristen Clark praised.
Professor Martin is an intelligent, well-versed black intellectual who bases his information on indisputable fact. In a sane country, someone like Kristen Clark would be under investigation by the Civil Rights Division, not running it. How crazy have we become? Well, we will see if Clark's nomination gets to the U.S. Senate. And if it does...
You hurt. You devils are hurt. All right. The facts is facts. Let me start off with that. All right. And she's right. All right. Mrs. Clark is right. All right. We are superior to you so-called white people, which you're not white. We're going to get into that. Now, we'll put the camera up, but of course, you know, I'm out. So I got the sun in my face. So, real quick. Let me get this. All right. So let's go to Galatians 4 and 6. Okay. On 16, actually. We're going to start off with that. This is Galatians 4 and let me see. All right. I start at 15. It says, where is then the blessedness ye spake of? For I bear you record that if it had been possible, you would have plucked out your eyes and have given them to me. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Okay? And that's what it is, man. Okay? We've become, let me actually get another scripture. Psalm 73. All right? Esau, he's the father of lies. He's the man of lies. All right? His society is thrive off lies. And a lie was what? So-called white supremacy. All right? He's God. He's the people of the Lord. Okay? His technology. Okay? Nobody can surpass that. That's what he puts out. All right? Well, you come to find out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, through the words of Yahweh Shema Shah. Okay? That all that's BS. Your strongholds, like it says in 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, all right, is being broken down. Your lies, man. All right, and you can't take it. Let me get this. This is Psalm 73 and 11. All right, and they say, how does Yahweh know? And there is knowledge in the Most High. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in this world. You're the main one prosper in this world because you're the ungodly. That's what's also being found out. You're the damn devil. Okay? You're not righteous. Okay? You're weak as hell. And you're the devil. It says, they increase in riches. Verily I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. And you see how when Jake, some sort of, Jake hold on or cling on to some sort of, thing that exalts them, what does it do? It piss these Edomites off. All right, what she said pissed these Edomites off, especially you southern Edomites. All right, but all you don't like whenever Jake, speak good about himself, or like for instance, when the movie Great Panther came out, Black Panther, Salaki, which that's not us. All right, Esau trying to control the narrative. All right, by putting that movie out. But when Jake saw that movie, Jake actually felt something good about themselves. And what happened? Jake got backlash for that. And who was the one doing the back? It was the Edomites, the same people you see today, man. All right, same people you see in that video, man. And you could tell your boy right here, all right, he was hurt by that, man. That offended the hell out of him. You see? But it's the truth. All right? Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Of course. When it comes to these devils, all right, they look as a terrorist just from saying something like that. He act like she went and blew something up. You know, this Psalm 73:15 says, if I say I will speak thus, behold, shall I offend against the generation of thy children? And that's what's happening. All right. The truth is coming out. All right. About who they are and how insignificant they really are. All right. And it's offensive to them. So this is why you see them, doing or making moves around the planet Earth like they're doing. They oppressing, everybody to the T. They're getting real petty, with what you can put out on the internet. That's why they doing that, because they're offended. Real quick. Let's get that word offended. You see? The word offend is, but God says to act treacherously, deceitfully, deal treacherously. All right? Faithlessly. Esau's faithless. Esau's carnal. All right? He's not spiritual. All right? Jake is more spiritual. The different things that Jake do, whether they do it according, because they have a zeal according to the Most High, or they don't know that it's spiritual what they're doing. All right? Jake is always doing something spiritual. Nothing you Edomites do is spiritual, besides try to go against the scriptures, man. But you're not a spiritual people, and you know that. That's why, all right, Esau, your forefather Esau, all right, he sold that birthright for a morsel of meat, all right, because he couldn't just wait. He wasn't patient. He was fleshly. He was carnal. He lacked faith. He had to have it now. So what did he do? He sold the birthright, man, which was ours to begin with. All right, Romans the 9th chapter told you that, okay? But it says, treacherous dealer, a man unfaithful, man. All right, so that's what it is. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, and that's how they act, man. Okay, that's how they act. Let me get Psalms 58 real quick, and we're gonna get even deeper into the lesson. Psalms 58:1. It says, "Do ye indeed speak righteous, O ye congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness, yea, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born," meaning what? The moment they come out their mom's womb, all right, they're a liar, man. That right there is a liar, man. All right, speaking lies. All right, and if you and that's what you did. That's what it says in Revelation the 20th chapter, man. When you came back into power, man, starting with the Renaissance era, man, what did you do? The devil shall be loosed out of his prison for a little season, and he shall go out to deceive the nations. That's what you did. You spreaded lies, man. And once you got the world to believe in your lies, all right, that's when you cause craft to prosper in your hand, all right, and you started destroying things, all right, started doing basically what you see right now. All right, this madness you got right now, but it says that poison is like the poison of a serpent, because you are that serpent. What's that poison? Is that wine, those philosophies, what you say, your lies, man. All right, they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth at her ear, okay, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers. Charmers servant, where it says charming never so wisely. All right, when they hear something that doesn't benefit them, or it goes against, all right, what they set up with their MO, all right, what they do, they try to deflect, or they try to find a loophole in what you say. That's what they do, because they're the devil. They're a liar. They're the father of liars, man. It tells you that also in John 8:44, when our people was getting cursed out. Yeah, your father the devil, okay? He was a murderer and a liar from the beginning. Which who was the first murderer? It was Cain. Which you Edomites were Cain, man. All right? He was a liar, man. He lied that he slew Abel, okay? But the word is kavar. It says to unite, join, bond together. Let me see. To make an alliance lead together. Ain't much here. It says by means of spells to fascinate. You see? And he's not fascinated at us, for one, calling ourselves Israelites, for calling him an Edomite. All right? He's not fascinated with hearing, having, leprosy like they do. All right? That's basically a curse. It's basically ineffective. All right, it's no benefits to having leprosy like they have, and having melanin. All right, it's actually better, because Esau has persuaded to the world that having melanin, all right, it's ugly. It doesn't look good. It doesn't have any benefits when whole time it does. Okay, that's why they have to go, when they going out on the beach, they have to put suntan on, you know, because they have leprosy. All right, they're clean lepers. All right, they our melanin, which, like I say, melanin, that's just little. All right, it's not melanin the reason why we're spiritual, you know, and more powerful than these Edomites. It goes beyond melanin. Melanin is just one of the things that Yahweh gave to us. You see, that's just one of the special things He gave to us. But they have to wear sunblock. All right, but it is, man. We are more spiritual. We're more powerful. Okay, we're better than you. That's just what it is, and that's why they hate you. You see, Jake. When it come to Jake, which is just the curses, you know, Jake will say, "Oh, that nigga hating on me." Well, the real hater on you tribes, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, is Esau, Edom, and the other nations. They the real haters, man. All right, they ain't got it, man. Especially Esau. But this is Genesis 25, because it's going to explain it right here. In 21, it says, "And Isaac entreated the Lord Yahweh Shemashah for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." Okay? So one people will be stronger than the other people. Who's stronger than who? We're stronger than you Edomites. All right? Now, Esau's in power right now. All right? His blessing is the sword. So the state that we've been put in, all right, it may seem as he's stronger than us because the Most High set him up. Okay? But we're stronger than Edomite. We dominate in sports. All right? We sing better than you. We dress better than you. Okay? The way Jake maneuvers better than you. Okay? Jake smell better than you. All right? When I'm around certain Edomites, man, they got a smell to them. You see? But let me show you a few clips. All right? Just to show you Jake is better, man. Jake is stronger than you. All right? The Lord made us stronger than you. And actually, you know what? And it says the elder shall serve the younger. Esau came out first, right? It says that in the first, and let me keep going real quick. Then I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get. It says, "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they call his name Esau." Which Genesis 36 and 8 tells you what? Esau, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So it's not just talking about one individual. It's talking about a whole seed line. All right? It's talking about his whole nation. Okay? You are red. You aren't white. All right? That whole... Let's just look up red babies right quick. Okay? Red skin babies. And that's another thing. In order to hide who you were, all right, you created the Washington Redskins, the Cleveland Indians. And you made people believe that the so-called Native and Seminole Indians, that they were Redskins. You're the Redskin. You're the red man. All right? That's who you are. You ain't white. All right? Redskin babies. They probably gonna put, of course, the Washington Redskins. All right? Look. It's you. All right? You're red. All right? You're not white. That was a lie. That was a part of your lies, man. Okay? That's a part of your lies, man. See, look at her shirt. All right, her shirt, okay, her shirt is white, but if you look at her skin, it's like a pinkish red, man. All right? Just like you say, Jake, all right, the so-called Negroes, right? Judah, Benjamin, Levi. You say we're black, but if Jake put a black, I got black on now. You see? Hold on. I got black on now, right? And the sun might be blurring, you know, my face, but I have black on right now. Does my skin, you know, is that black? Like my jacket? All right. Of course not. You know? So what's up with that? Even Jakers, you know, you could be a Wesley Snipe. You could be the same type of complexion as Wesley Snipes. And I bet you Wesley Snipes still wouldn't match his black jacket. Okay? So what's up with that? It's because you're trying to hide from who you are. Alright? It's called social constructing, man. Okay? Those words it's a play on minds when people hear those words, man. When you automatically hear that somebody's white, you're gonna automatically think, all right, he's innocent, okay, he's noble, he's pure. When you think of somebody black, you're gonna think of what? A gangbanger, a thug, a hoe. All right, there's many things that Esau put the stigma on us in this society, okay. But you're red, you're not even white. That's a lie within itself. All right, it says, and after that came out his brother was that's Jake. It says after that came out his brother out. After that came his brother out, Salakia, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare him. Now, why didn't the name Jacob came out this color? Because Jacob, which is our forefathers, all right, forefather, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, all right, he came out with what? What they call melanin. All right, he came out looking normal because that was the normal, that's really the original way man look, man. All right, that color Esau is that's not normal to look like that. But because this is his world, all right, this is his kingdom, he's been able, which that was a part of his deception, to make that look as if that's the way to look. And us to look like us, that's the way not to look. That's why you got Jake, what's his name? What's his dude's name? He was a baseball player. I think his name was Sammy Sosa. He's a Simeonite, so-called Dominican. That's why him, Michael Jackson, okay, and many others, man. That's why they bleached their skin, because they had, for one, a mental illness, a wound that was laid on them by Esau due to the Most High. All right, and Jake just what? Jake rejected knowledge. Jake is void of understanding. Because if you would understood that us, when we had the complexion that the Lord gave us, this melanin that the Lord gave us, all right, is actually, important, they wouldn't do it. All right. But real quick, let me get Deuteronomy. We are superior to you. We've always been, we always will be. All right. It is what it is. This damn it. This is Deuteronomy 7. It's going to say it right here. Okay. Trying to find this. Let me see. All right. This is Deuteronomy 7. Hold on. Bear with me real quick. I'm seeing something. All right. It's actually the same thing, but this is Deuteronomy. Damn it. All right, Deuteronomy 14:1 says, "Ye are the children of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai power." Now, people will take this and say that means everybody. Well, he's talking about specific people. All right, he's talking about the Israelites. You should not cut yourselves nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. All right, like what? Taking the vaccine and taking that chip. All right, that's against our law. But it says, "For thou art an holy people," which means separate, unto the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai thy power, and the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai have chosen thee to be a peculiar people. So let's get that word peculiar. The word for peculiar is possession, property, valued property, treasure. All right, proper, good, special. All right, a jewel. You see, we're special, a special people unto the Lord, man. All right, unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth, man. So we are that right there. I could end the video on that right there. All right, but it goes deeper. Okay. Because we are the Lord. Let me get that. Israel, my elect. You know, let's get that. I think it's Isaiah 41 or 40. To just make the point. This is Isaiah 41 and 8. But thou, Israel, art my servant. Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. All right. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and I cast thee away. So we are the Lord's people, man. We are that special people, man. All right. And that's why when we go off, the Lord, he's quick to judge us and put us in a bad predicament because we his people. He don't care about Esau and these other nations, and they know it, man. But because Esau is in power, what has he did? He created the slave Bible, all right? He used this book and fed to you that God loves everybody, all right? That we all, you know, we all can be saved. We all gonna be in the kingdom. That's all bullshit, man. All right? We ain't the same. And you see it, man. When Jake around these other nations, Jake stick out the most, man. You heathens don't got it. But anyway, I have a few clips, a few videos showing you that one people shall be stronger than another, right? But check this out.
Bro, you gotta wear a mask, bro.
Now, keep in mind, take that sword, all right? Take the sword away from Esau, and this is what you get, all right? Because the only reason why Esau looks powerful, everybody is scared of him, or everybody was scared of him, okay? Was because he has the military, he controls the media, all right? He has nukes, he has killer robots, all right? He has all these things, his face on the money. But take all that away from Esau, and this is what you're going to get. Let me play it back. And I got one more clip.
Bro, you gotta wear a mask, bro.
Look at Esau, weak as hell, bro.
Everybody got on masks, man. Everybody got on masks, man.
Big five that we're most worried about are Arizona, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, and Texas. In those five, we see three really bad trends. Big increases in case numbers, big increases in the positivity rate of tests, and large that are going to continue.
All right, that was it. You saw it in the beginning, but look here. Look at Esau losing his goddamn mind. All right, look at him. All right, now this is which I never knew. You know, Jack Johnson. He was an Israelite. All right, was a so-called black man. He was one of the greatest boxers, but you don't hear about him. You know, Esau. He only tells you about Muhammad Ali. You know, Mike Tyson. You know, just particular people. You know, but this is the one boxer I never knew about, and he was a so-called black man. All right, he boxed. You know, and a lot of people that he boxed, and this was back in what? I think it was this was I'll just say the early 1900s. You know, he was boxing so-called white men. All right, this before Jake really, you know, dominated the boxing world, but this was mostly so-called white men. And he was the first black man, you know, to come and actually fight, you know, so-called white men. You know, this was a time where you couldn't even go out without a mob of Edomites trying to lynch you or set you on fire. So I'm gonna play a little bit. I'm not gonna play all of it, but I suggest, you know, you watch this documentary on Jack Johnson, man. Okay? Let me play a little bit though. We stronger than these people, man. But Esau, he don't bring this man up because he knows, all right, he see Jake and see that this how weak. It's gonna show Jake how weak he is. But anyway.
A figure so large, if refused, his fear of Johnson would be exposed.
The fight was a sellout. A crowd of 20,000 people, the press and their cameras, gathered to watch the first ever championship fight between black and white.
Within a few seconds, Burns was on the floor.
Well,
Burns
look at
got up
Esau, man.
and was knocked down again.
The challenger moves the champion around at will. Johnson is having the time of his life.
Jack would let him have free shots, even pointing to his ribs. Here, Tommy, now, here.
Johnson merely played with the heavyweight champion. He would laugh and actually talk to the crowd as Burns was hitting to the stomach, laughing all the time. It was Johnson's way of demonstrating he had absolutely nothing to fear from the little heavyweight champion.
As the bell rings, Jack gives a friendly little wave to Burns. See you later, Mr. Tommy.
Johnson was merely toying with the champion, goading him on until the tiring Burns could no longer compete.
So far as damage was concerned, Burns never landed a blow.
He advances on the smaller man, and then suddenly, tiger-like, he attacks.
A good right uppercut. Another ripping right uppercut by Johnson. Uppercuts, hooks, all punishing blows.
Now Johnson pours it on. Hooks, uppercuts. Burns is defenseless. At this very moment, the police shut off the cameras and stop the fight.
The world is spared the spectacle of a black man knocking out a white man and denied access to this historical moment.
The end of the white man's domination of the heavyweight championship.
After a decade and a half long career, Jack had fulfilled his dream. And so began the torment of all white supremacists. A Negro who had worldwide fame, wealth, tailored suits, automobiles, and now the most prized possession in all of sports. And what irked the moral purists more than anything was how he openly consorted with and married white women. But whatever...
Yep, that's another thing. And you gotta remember, this is a time where Jake was couldn't even go out in public, man, without being harassed by Edomites. This was before the 40s and 50s. This was probably what? Around, if I'm not mistaken, probably around, this had to be, I believe, between the 20s, the 1920s, if not before the 1920s or in the 1930s. But I believe it's between the World War I era. All right? And he was beating Edomite boxers and sleeping with their women. All right? And they couldn't do shit about it. You see? And this is what they fear, man. They don't want Jake, all right, in that mindset of thinking outside the box that he put him in. You see? This is what Esau doesn't like. All right? But we are superior to you, man. It's the Lord's people, man. All right? Well, like I said, check that out, man. They ain't gonna teach you about no Jack Johnson, man. All they gonna teach you about is you know, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, these other boxers, because they fight other Jakes. You see, that's not really, you know. But anyway, we're better than you, okay? And they know it, man. Okay? But the Lord, actually, you know what? Let's go to Exodus 1. Because what did the ancient Pharaoh say? Because this is New Egypt. Okay? Alright, this is Exodus 1:1. It says, now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. So the tribes. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly. All right? And multiplied, waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. All right? We grew and grew and grew. You know? And Pharaoh, this was first Egypt, but like I say, this is spiritual Egypt. Revelations 11:8. All right, and 2nd Ezra 15th chapter, then also Joel. I'll just get it real quick. Just to anybody that's, you know, just coming across this. Joel 3:19 says, Egypt shall be a desolation, which the Lord already made Egypt a desolation. So what Egypt is he talking about? He's talking about America. All right, look on the back of the dollar bill. There's the Egyptian pyramid. All right, if you look in D.C., there's an Egyptian obelisk in D.C. Look up an obelisk. All right, why you have an Egyptian obelisk in Washington, D.C.? All right, because they're letting you know that they know this is the new Egypt, the elites. It says, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. So this is New Egypt right here. This is future prophecy. All right. So going back, pick up where I left off. So we were growing, right? Now check this out. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. So he knew, for one, we were Israelites. He knew that we were stronger than them. But in this time, we were in captivity, just like we in captivity in this Egypt. All right, and it's the same, mindset that this Pharaoh had back in ancient Egypt is the new Pharaohs, aka the elites. And even you, Joe Six-Pack Edomites, all right, Jake is more mightier than you. You see, like I said, take away the AR-15s, take away these weapons that you have, your sword, all right, and try to go head on with Jake. And you can't do it. All right. Now you probably have in boxing, right? You have people like Tyson Fury, which Tyson Fury, you're going to have Israelites that's going to come looking like Edomites. I believe Tyson Fury, he's actually a Jake. All right. He just looks like an Edomite. Because can't no Edomite really beat Jake. Okay. But the words are to some, it says, mighty, vast, numerous. Mighty, strong in number, numerous, countless. And what did he say in that RT video I just played? That can't measure. He said that you cannot measure. All right. It says powerful, especially appall, by implication numerous, feeble, great, mighty, must, and strong, man. So he knew that. All right. And then he said, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when they're fall about any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. And it's the same mindset that the elites have been in. They've been declaring war on our people, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, all right, since, man. All right. Really since the womb, but now we are literally in their kingdom. They're ruling the planet Earth now. You see? So what you think they doing? They plotting on how to destroy you, man. They pollute the water. All right, they put drugs, guns in your neighborhoods. Okay? They you see what they doing with the Maxine? Who are they trying to give that to? They're trying to destroy you, man. All right? Then they're gonna try to microchip you so you could be their perpetual slave and eventually get destroyed with them. All right, but this is not gonna work. You see? But this is the mindset that the elites are in. They know, all right, we that people, man. And we, okay, when we in our right mind, which I'm gonna get that, okay? I always get it. It's in Judith, the book of Judith, when that Ammonite was telling Holofernes, the chief captain, on how you could take these people down. You see? The script, Psalm 64 and 6, Psalm 64 chapter, which that goes into the elites. All right, it talks about how the heart is deep. All right, they search out all iniquities, man. You see, they know they have relics, they have different things. They do different research on our people. All right, do different tests on our people. All right, and they know that we those people, man. This is why they gotta keep you in this box. They gotta keep black. They gotta keep pushing black, 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 black. You know, they gotta keep on, trying, have Jake to have the mindset to want to stay in the system, man. All right, they give you like jobs and cars and stimulus money so you could be comfortable with being in captivity under them. So you wouldn't even think about trying to, come into power above them. But it's not gonna work. But anyway, let's get that account in Judith. All right. They know we are mighty. That's why when you bring up that type of subject, what happened? They get pissed off like you saw in the RT video, man. All right. Even the Edomites you think your friends, when that type of subject come up, they're going to get a fucking offended. That's just what it is. This Judith 5, and I'm going to get straight to the point. Okay? Actually, I'll just start up. Let's start up. I'm just going to read down. Just bear with me. Judith 5:1 says, Then it was declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Asher, that the children of Israel had prepared for war, had shut up the passages of the hill country, and had fortified all the tops of the high hills, and had laid impediments in the campaign countries. Wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the sea coast. And he said unto them, Tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them, or captain of their army? And why have they determined not to come and meet me more than all the inhabitants of the west? Because he was, keep going. It says, Then said Achir, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, Let my lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people which dwelleth near thee, and inhabited the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. This people are the descendants of Chaldeans, and they sojourn heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea. All right. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the God of heaven, which is Yahweh, the God whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled to Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days. And you see that today. All right. What did Esau do? He set up these religions. Christianity is the main one. Roman Catholicism. All right. Egyptology. All right. Islam. All these things. All right. There's a reason why they set all these things up. You know, even your celebrities. They know Jake likes leaders, so they have you worshiping these celebrities as a god. And Esau knows that when you do that, all right, you piss your how about Shemashah. It's gonna go into it. It says, For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled to Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days. Then their God commanded them to depart from the place where they were sojourned to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt and were increased with gold and silver and very much cattle. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down to Egypt and sojourned there while they nourished and became there a great multitude, so that one could not number their nation. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly, which I just read that, which is crafty, with them, and brought them low with laboring and brick, and made them slaves. And this is the same predicament we're in right now. Everything is spiritual, man. The same thing. This time we under the Edomites, though, our natural born enemy, because Esau is your natural born enemy. All the nations outside of the children of Israel are your enemy, but Esau is the natural born enemy. All right, he's the number one enemy. Okay. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly with them, and brought them with laboring and brick, and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their power, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so the Egyptians cast them out of their sight. And Yahweh dried the Red Sea before them, and brought them to Mount Sinai and Cades Barnea, and cast forth all that dwelt in the wilderness. So they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and destroyed by their strength all of them Esabon, and passing over Jordan they possessed all the hill country. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, the Pharisite, the Jebusite, the Shechemite, and all the Gergesites, and they dwelt in the country many days. And whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, the law, statutes, and commandments, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And what were we led captive? Okay. This time. All right. What did the curse say? Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And I will bring thee into Egypt again. All right, because remember, the first Exodus, the first Egypt was destroyed. All right. So what Egypt was he talking about? He says, and I will bring thee into land, to Egypt again with ships. What did we come to America on? Ships. America is modern Egypt, where ye should be sold for bondsmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Which, if you go into the word buy, it means redeem. All right, it means to save you, basically. All right, and you see all these leaders that's raised up amongst Jake, and none of them was able to deliver us, because either they were a puppet of Esau, or they try to basically escape the curses some other way, and it didn't work. The only one that's gonna get us out of this predicament is the one that put us in this predicament, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah. And this is what the elites are trying to keep. The elites and heathens are trying to keep from you tribes, man. All right. This is what all these distractions is about. This is what the whole pandemic is about. Really, it's basically warfare on the tribes, man, because they know what's about to happen. But anyway, it says, but when they departed from which the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore. All right, the civil rights era, slavery, trying to escape in slavery, everything Jake do to try to fight back, all right, is to no prevail, because we are disconnected from Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, and these heathens, they got to kick off that. Okay, it says, very soon led captives into a land that was not theirs, because America's, it was the, now you gotta understand, the Gadites, the so-called Native American and Seminole Indians, and even a little bit of the Issacharites, they were here first. But what happened? Prophecy had to where Esau came over here, and he stole it from them, put them in captivity, and established himself a world power using America, all right, into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their power was cast down to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. All right. And that's what happened to us. 70 AD happened to us. All right. And then what the transatlantic slave trade did was that put the nail in the coffin for some time on our people, man. Our heritage was beat out of us. Okay. Esau falsified black culture, Spanish culture, Indian culture. He gave that to our people. And our people, take in on that as if that's their real culture. And look at our people. All right, we've been destroyed, man. Spiritually, mentally, and physically destroyed. But now, it says, but now they return to their power and come up from the places where they scattered and possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and the sea in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. And this is what the elites know. As long as we could keep them sinning, as long as we could keep them going off, as long as we could keep them from the names of Yahweh Shema Shah, all right, we will continue to prosper. These people, they can do nothing against us. We could do, we could shoot them down the streets, and they can't do anything about it. We could poison their water. We could rape their women. We could do all this to them, and nothing will be done about it. That's what it says in Zechariah 11 and 5, Let me get that. Zechariah 11 and 5, and whose possessors, because we in possession of who? Esau, Edom, slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they say, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, for iron rich, and their own shepherds pay them not. All right, because they've sinned against their power. You see? But that's what they did. That's what the elites did. Psalms 83. All right. Let's get that. See, that's the key. All right. This is why they got, you look at most of these religions. Who's mostly in all these religions? It's Jake. All right. You got Edomites, which some of them could be speckled birds, and some of them just actual heathens. All right. But you got Israelites that go hard for these different religions more than anybody. All right. Even if that religion was created by a heathen for their people. All right. Because we that people, man, the scriptures, man. Psalms 83 and 1. It says a song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silent, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, who the Israelites, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Because it's been hidden who we was on the planet Earth. Even like I said, even though they know who we was, to us, that was hidden. We didn't know that. I didn't know that at some point. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel, and not just the name of Israel, but the name Yahweh Shema Shah, may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Jebel, which is Edom, Ammon, the so-called Japs, Amalek, the so-called Jew, Jewish, 1948ers, we call them, which are also Edomites, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, them actual Hamites, them Africans. All right, Asher is also joined on. also join with them. They have hope in a lot of children. So all these nations have made an alliance to what? Make sure these people don't know the names of Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, and make sure they don't even know who they are. All right, and due to that, they were able to prosper off of the curses that our people are under. They've been able to prosper off Jake's ignorance, man. They've been able to have their way with our women, have their way with us, okay? Because we what? We are not one with Yahweh Shema Shah. You see? And this is how they've gotten off on us, man. It's not because we're weak. It's not because we're stupid. It's because this is what they did. All right? Which it was prophecy regardless. All right? Our disobedience put us in this predicament. Okay? But now, and they've, you know what? Let me get that real quick. Aha. See, they don't fear, like I say, they don't fear you Jakes marching up and down the streets talking about Black Lives Matter. They love when you call yourself black. That's not who we are, man. Okay? They love when you, set your neighborhoods, which we don't own these neighborhoods. All right, it's all Esau shit anyway. But they love when you set the communities that you live in on fire, man, and riot and loot. Okay? But the one thing they don't love, all right, is you tribes claiming you're the Israelites. All right? Is you calling on the names of Yahweh Shema Shah. That's more of a threat, okay, than any of those things that I just told you, man. All right? Even if you fight, you see videos eat Jake, and the Edomite fighting, you beat his ass. That's still not going to do nothing. You still going to be in captivity. And most likely, you're going to get charged and you're going to get the book thrown at you. You're going to be thrown under the jail. You see? The only way out is through Yahweh Shema Shah, man. All right? But anyway, I'm going to get Ezekiel 36 or 35. All right, this is Ezekiel 36:1. It says, "Also thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah. It says, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are in our possession." And what's the ancient high places that they have in their possession? Our land. We not in our land. We in the land of our captivity, man. America's not our land. And you got the northern kingdom, the Latin tribes, they like to say, well, we got our own country, we're Cuban. This is our country. That's not yours. All that is Esau's and the other nations, man. That's the land of your captivity, man. All right? Your land is the land of Israel, man. But who has it? Yeah, the adversary has it, man. Amalek, the main one. And you got other heathens in the land, polluting it, defiling it, man. All right? And they even have you, all right, in their possession. All right? Because you're the Lord's property. I just read that earlier. It says, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are infamy of the people. Blackface, okay? Get out of here, you wetback, you spick. Go back to your country, You Indians, which means savage. All right, it's nothing good that comes from that name. Reds calling you the Redskins when they know damn well they're the Redskins. Okay? They like to, you see Edomites like to, they like to do that. There was an Edomite when I went to school with, he used to do that. The N-word, black by itself, that's an insult. You should be African American. All right? Thugs, hoodlums, gangbangers. All these are lips of talkers, man. Infamy of the people, man. All right? Even when Jake, someone do something good like Michael Jordan, you play basketball, you still an infamy, all right, to the people. When they see Michael Jordan, they don't see anything about him. They just see that, look, you are entertainment. You shoot that ball and that hoop, you do a dunk, you make us shout and scream, man. That's what we want. All right? says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah to the mountains and to the hills, and to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and the derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which is Greek for Edom, which have appointed my land to their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. All right? Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne shame of the heathen. All right? Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame, man. All right? And that's what's starting to happen, man. You start to bear your shame, especially you Edomites. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. Because what the Lord doing? Let's get Psalms 50. And almost an hour. A lot of these videos I've been going for like an hour. Usually the videos I do was at least 30 minutes. You know? Just on fire for this thing. He's just hastening the return of Yahweh shot, man, so we can get out of here. This Psalms 50. I start at 16. It says, but unto the wicked Yahweh said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? All right? You Edomites that claim you believe in the Bible. All right, like I said, you might have some of them that's really Jakes that look like Edomites, but I'm talking about you actual Edomites, all right, that think you have something to do with the Bible, man. You don't. The only thing you have to do with the Bible is being the wicked, all right, and judgment coming, all right. Putting and God we trust on the money, which you know that's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob they're talking about. They're talking about Satan, all right. You don't have nothing to do with this, and they know it. That's why they get pissed off when you Jakes talk about, anything that glorifies you. They get pissed off at that because they don't have no part in it. But they've deceived the world and believing they do have a part in it. All right, that's being took down now. Seeing thou hatest instruction and casting my words behind thee, when thou sawest the thief, then thou contendest with them, and has been partaker with the adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, who? Jacob. Thou slayest thy own mother's son, because you are the accuser of our brother, thy brother. That's what you are. You Edomites. All right. You will accuse Jacob being something that you are. All right. A murderer, a thief, a liar. That's what you are. You lie, you cheat, you steal, man. All right. Like that wrestler back in the day, Eddie Guerrero, man. I lie, I cheat, I steal. That's what he said. All right. That's you. It says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silent. So you thought let me keep going. It says, thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. But guess what? You thought the transatlantic slave trade, the Most High is with you, which the Most High allows you to do that because of, like I said, we transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments, but you went overboard. All right, you like it said, you've had that perpetual hatred in Ezekiel the 35th chapter when their iniquity had an end. All right, when it was enough, what do you kept doing? All right, when you so-called allowed Jake to roam free in your society and start voting and working at particular jobs, what form? Jim Crow era, the Jim Crow laws, all right, the KKK. You still lynching and burning Jake as you do to this very day, all right. When Jake go in a restaurant, you would throw oatmeal, hot oatmeal by the way, in their face, or they'll get on the bus and you had to get on the back of the bus. You see, get on the back of the bus, nigga. You kept at it. So you thought the Lord was all for that, man. You didn't realize the Lord was setting you up. All right, you doubles up for the big okie doke. Your downfall, as we're in right now. You're gonna pay for all that. And guess what? But I will reprove thee. Who is he reproving? He's reproving, all right, the Israelites, man. He's sending us back. It says, and set them in order before thy eyes, man. Let me get that. It's in Baruch the 4th chapter. All right, this is Baruch 4 and 36, it says, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Yahweh. Lo, thy sons come whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory, man. That's who's being gathered, man. The southern north king, they being gathered together. And as your house is divided, all right, you Edomites at each other's throat, whether you are about Trump or about the country, this and that, Antifa, this and that, it don't matter. All right, you're divided, and what? We're coming back together. Meaning, since you're divided, that's your end. This is our beginning. All right, and you see it. We're gonna go to Ezra the 4th chapter. All right, this is why they get this. This is why they pissed off. They did all this work to try to keep our people docile and divided, and it didn't work. Okay, it did not work. We being set in orders right in your face. You did all that investing in money, keeping us destroyed, and we being brought back together through the words of Yahweh Shema Shah right in your face, man. And they hurt. This is why they want to eject a Maxine and then a chip in you. This is why, because people can't pinpoint why they keep talking about, Jake will say people of color, why they keep saying we need to get the most. It's because this is why. This is Ezra 4:1. It says, now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah of Israel, then they came to Zerubbabel, to the chief captain, the chief of the fathers, and said unto him, let us build with you, for we seek your power, as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Asher, which brought us up hither. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief captains of the fathers of Israel said, ye have nothing to do with us to build a house onto our power, man. All right, because, we went in captivity under the Babylonians, you see, and what did they do? They destroyed our temple. So this was basically, us rebuilding it. All right, and the heathen, they wanted in on it. They wanted to do it with us, but that's what the answer they got. All right, and this temple, because this was a physical temple, but now, let me get this real quick. We're gonna come back. This temple, this third temple that's being built, all right, it's gonna say it. All right. It says, First Peter 2. It says, I'm gonna just get to the point. I started one. This is talking about the elect, man, the believers. But it says, wherefore land aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings as newborn babes. Because how we become newborn babes? All right, you put off the ways of this world, and you come into the truth, and you learn about Yahweh Shema Shah. You learn right from wrong. All right, so when you do that, it's almost as if you are a newborn, because when you're born, all right, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's around you, what's that. You don't know how to speak, But it says, desire the sincere milk of the word that ye may grow thereby. If so be yet ye have tasted the Lord is gracious, that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto us a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Yahweh and precious. Ye also as lively stones are built up in spiritual house. You see, whenever the heathen came against us back in the ancient world, they will always destroy our temple, because that's how we offered up things to the Lord and everything. You see, but they can't do that no more. Why? Because this third temple, all right, it consists of men. All right, it consists of the house of David, man, the elect. It says in holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices. Fasting. Reading. Doing a video like I'm doing. This is considered a spiritual sacrifice. It's something, if you could do, something lawful you can do, you don't do it because you using that as a spiritual sacrifice to Yahweh Shema Shah. Those are all spiritual sacrifices. All right, acceptable to Yahweh by Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Wherefore also is contained in the scriptures, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth him shall not be confounded. All right, so unto you therefore which believe, he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the cornerstone. And a stumbling block and a rock of offense to who? The 2/3 of our people, all right? The heathens and you Edomites, all right? Yahweh Shema Shai is a stumbling block and a rock of offense to you. And to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar, a special people, that should show forth the praise of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. All right. So that's this third temple, because like I'm reading in Ezra, the 4th chapter, that was an actual temple. That was a physical temple. See, now they can't come in and destroy a physical temple, because now it consists of the men, the elect. But we don't know. We're going to find out, though, soon. Nobody knows who exactly is of the elect. And I pray that I'm a part of that, and you Akim, and even you Akwaf, which you're not of the 144,000, but you are, of the 1/3. You see? That you of that. But picking up where I left off, I'm going to read up. It says, I'm going to read the 3rd verse. It says, but Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our power, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, had commanded us. And this is what we tell them in the spirit now. You don't have nothing to do with this. All right, you heathens, get out of here. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building. So they got hurt. And what do? They tried to alter, the process of them rebuilding, man. And it's the same thing he's doing now. See, he's trying by way of his Maximes and then the chip. He's trying to get our people to go off so they won't make it to the kingdom. Which is prophesied 2/3 not going to make it, So that's all he's going to get is the 2/3. You might get a few martyrs here and there, but the majority of the elect is going to make it. And you're going to be done. You're going to be finished. All right? And hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose in all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even unto the reign of Darius, king of Persia. And in the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, wrote they unto him an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. And in the days of Artaxerxes, wrote Bislam, Mithridath, Tabeel, and the rest of their companions unto Artaxerxes, king of Persia. And the writing of the letter was written in the Syrian tongue, and interpreted in the Syrian tongue. Rehum the chancellor and Shimshai the scribe wrote a letter against Jerusalem to Artaxerxes the king in this sort. All right. Then wrote Rehum the counselor, chancellor, and Shimshai the scribe and the rest of their companions, the Dianites, the Apharsachites, the Turbalites. It says the Apharsites, the Chivites, the Babylonians, the Secusites, the Havites, the Elamites, and the rest of the nations whom the great and noble a snapper brought over and set in the seas of Samaria, and the rest that are on this side the river, and at such a time. So all these heathens, all right, came to them to complain. Look, it's going to go into it. This is the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even unto Xerxes the king, thy servant, the men on this side the river, and at such a time, be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and the bad city, and have set up the walls thereof and joined the foundations. And the Lord is doing that right now. What did he say? I will reprove thee and set them in order before thy eyes. The same thing is happening. The same thing that happened at this time is the same thing happening right now. It's just a different heathen ruler, and it's the wicked ruling. All right. And this, don't think this is not what the elites is saying behind the scenes, man. They're doing that. This pandemic is highly responding to this. All right. Be it known unto the king that if this city be builded and the walls set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and customs? So they won't pay bills to us no more. All right. They won't send us gifts, as servants, and they won't worship our customs. Just like today, you got Christmas, you got Thanksgiving, you got Columbus Day, you got Valentine's Day, all these so-called holidays that Jake celebrate, which you're not supposed to be celebrating. Birthdays, you're not supposed to be celebrating these things. These are all customs of the heathens, man. Jeremiah the 10th chapter tells you that. All right, but they knew that This rebuilding process that they were doing, that's a threat basically to our structure. If they rebuild, we going down. Okay? And so that thou shalt damage the revenue of the kings. And that's what's happening now. This word going out is what? It's destroying Esau's economic system. Alright, look at the job losses that's happening right now. You see? See how spiritual all this is? It says, now because we have made maintenance, because we have maintenance from the king's palace, it was not meet for us to see the king's dishonor. Therefore have we sent and certified the king, that search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers. And what did it say in Psalms 64 chapter? Speaking of the elites, and they search their heart is deep. They search, all iniquities, man. They have records of our forefathers, man, that we don't know about. So they know who we are. That search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers, so shalt thou find the book of the records, and know that this city is a rebellious city, and hurtful unto kings and provinces, and that they have moved sedition. Like now, what's happening? Sedition among men. We prophesied it will be sedition through the spirit and power of Shema Shah will be sedition among men. And what's happening? They they said it's 65,000 troops, if not more now, in Washington, D.C. for this inauguration thing. Which, Lord willing, something pops off, man. Alright? Within the same of old time. For which cause was this city destroyed. Alright? So they know, man. Says, we certify that the king, if this city be builded again, and the walls are set up, by this means thou shalt have no portion on this side of the river. Meaning what? They ain't gonna have nothing, man. Then sent the king and answered unto Rahum the chancellor, and to the Shimshai the scribe, and to the rest of their companions that dwelt in Samaria, and on to the rest beyond the river, peace, and at such a time. The letter which he sent unto us had been plainly read before me, and I commanded and search have been made, and it is found that this city of old time have made insurrection against kings, and that rebellion and sedition have been made therein. There have been mighty kings also over Jerusalem. King David, Samson, Joshua, Moses, okay? The Maccabees, Judas, Maccabees, Jonathan, Mattathias, These just a few, All those was kings, man, okay? And who were they conquering? Who were they taking down? Solomon, can't forget about that. They were taking down the heathen. These very same heathens, man, that's been the thorn in our side, man. Alright, our enemies. They said they had been made mighty kings. There had been mighty kings also over Jerusalem, which have ruled over all countries beyond the river, and toll, tribute, and custom was paid unto them. Give ye now the commandment to cause these men to cease, and that this city be not built until another commandment shall be given from me. So take heed now that ye fail not to do this. Why should damage grow to the hurt of the kings, man? And this is the mindset of the elites, and this is why they want to Maxine and they want to chip you, man. Alright, this is why they're about to come out on great wrath, man. Okay? Their rulership, their livelihood is on the line. Alright? The building of the house of David is what? It's the end of their rulership. Meaning they're going into slavery, man. Okay? Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah and against his anointed. And what is Esau doing to counter off Yahweh Shah's second coming? He's building a space force. Alright? That's what the space force is for. They calling their space force the guardians. What are they trying to guard? They're trying to guard their rulership. They're trying to guard them being the power. And it's not going to work. Alright? Let us break their bands asunder and cast their cords from us. And when a woman give birth, what does she have? An umbilical cord tied to her baby, man. We the Lord's children, man. And they want to cut that cord, that relationship, that connection to Yahweh Shema Shah. And that's not going to work. Alright? He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Alright? Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath through the prophets and vex them in sore displeasure, man. Alright? Everything they say they're going to do, we come out with a veil. Well, the scriptures say this. You're not going to do this. This is going to happen to you. Alright? They're vexed about that. Let me end off for Amos 9, because it's going to cut me off in a few. I gotta hurry up and get it. Alright? It's over, man. We are superior and it's better than you. And there's nothing you could do about it. This is Amos 9. I'd be glad to say it to an Edomite face. You know? This Amos 9:11 says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David, the same thing that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof." And that's what's happening. That division, that divide that Esau was, it goes back to the curses. But Esau, like I said, these heathen, all right, they profited off the curses. They used the curses to their advantage. All right. Esau has caused even more division amongst our people. But between, all right, the house of David, that breach between the southern and northern kingdom, that's being closed by Yahweh Shema Shah. We coming back together, man, under the Yahweh Shema Shah. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, man. That's what's happening right now. We've been built up. So what's going to happen? This house being built up, and this house is going to be laid waste. The house of Edom, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, that do with this, man. This is going into your lands, but it's also going into you. You going to be our possession. All right? And we're going to rule over you with the rod and arm, man. All right? And that's what they fear, man. Esau fears that big payback. All right? Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, that the plowman, because who is the plowman? We're the plowman. All right? We work in this brick and mortar jobs. You see? We work in the low level jobs, man. I know some Issachar, some Northern Kingdom at my job, they only make $7. That's nothing, man. Especially now. So we the plowmen, man, shall overtake the reaper. You Edomites and you other heathens, man. That's in our neighborhoods. You profiting off, off the curses. Making money off of us, going back to your communities and building better and stronger. All right? You about to be overtaken. And the treader of grapes, him that soweth the seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Okay? Because the Lord going to use what? Missiles to destroy, all right, America, Babylon the Great. And missiles are going to hit other land masses too. That's why it says the earth shall roll to and fro. And I will bring again the captivity my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities. And we're not going to build them. We're going to have servants. We're going to have servants and handmaids do it. Slaves. And inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. And they shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land. They shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. Because we're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments in our inward part. All right? So you heathens are going to be through. All right? This is the last captivity. All right? And if we had the law, statutes, and commandments in our inward part, meaning what? We don't go off anymore, which that was the way you heathens were able to take us down, then what does that mean? All right? You will never take us down. You know? This is second Psalms 2 and 9. I'm end off on this. Says, thou shalt break them, who? The other nations, with the rod of iron, and thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel, man. Revelations 13:10. He that leaveth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. All right? So this was going to happen, man. There's nothing you can do about it. So we are superior to you. All right? You're going into slavery. Okay? Live it up while you still can, which is really no way you can live it up. All right? It's over. Call her Lord like Yahweh Shema Shah. Yahweh righteous that is edifying. Baba Shah. Abba Babo. Abba Babo. Abba Ha Ayapia. Abba Ha Ayapia. Shalom to the elect. To the few Akwaf that do this and learn. Shalom. Hawad. Hayah. La Yahweh Shema Shah. Shalom.